Hi there, Perfecto the Caster here and welcome to my channel. I hope you're having a great day. So recently I was rummaging through my gear cabinet and in one of the drawers lurking in the farthest corner, I saw this thing. This is the heavy metal HM-100 from Boston Engineering. So in this video, I'm going to plug it in, see if it still works, check out some of the tones that we can pull out of it, and along the way, I will talk about the importance of mids to us guitar players. If you're new to this channel, I invite you to hit the subscribe button and ring that notification bell. I regularly upload content centered on guitar and music, from gear demos to lessons to tour vlogs, video performances, and all sorts of other fun stuff. I don't believe Boston Engineering pedals were sold anywhere else in the world except the Philippines. And for the most part, their entire product line are basically copies of Boss products. Now, the HM-100 is no exception. It is a knockoff of the Boss pedal that everybody loves, the venerable Metal Zone. I remember reading all about it in countless posts at the talk.philmusic.com forums when I was an active member. Now, if you're also an active member, then drop a comment down below so I can see it. Anyway, I remember that this pedal is always a topic of heated debate between the guys who like it and the guys who don't. So I decided to buy one and have it sent to the US just so that I could personally try and see if I can get a good usable sound out of it. I'll be using my Sully Guitars Stardust Deluxe, which has a mahogany body and a beautiful Koa top. Then I'm plugged into my 11 rack and I'm using a Super Reverb amp model, and that is being recorded straight into my computer. And to hear everything clearly, I will be monitoring using my Blue Mix-Fi headphones. Okay, here's the clean sound. As you can hear, it is squeaky clean with just a hint of reverb. That way, all the dirt that I'll be playing with will come solely from the HM-100. Okay, let's turn it on. Okay, so there's that unmistakable Metal Zone tone that everybody loves. I'm going to start tweaking some pedals and let's see if we can make it sound beefier. The first thing I'm going to do is take care of the volume difference between the bypass clean sound and the distorted engaged sound. As you can hear, the clean sound is way louder than the distorted sound. Okay, so bump it up to here. Okay, that works. Like the Metal Zone, the HM-100 uses a parametric EQ to control the mids, this third knob right here. Now this parametric EQ has two controls. The big knob sweeps across a set frequency range, and the small knob either boosts or reduces whatever frequency the big knob is set to. Now, a common complaint about this pedal and other pedals with the same structure is that they sound shrill and thin. And I feel that that is due to the guitar player's misunderstanding and misuse of the parametric EQ for the mids. And a lot of times when guitar players hear the word mids, the automatic response is to turn it down. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to hold the chord, and I'm going to turn down the gain for the parametric mid. Now, when you're playing by yourself, you hear this tone and you immediately think that your guitar sounds nice and chunky and metal. And that is because we've already cut out a lot of the mids. And since this pedal has separate high and low controls, we tend to boost those up as well. So bump the high, bump the low, and you get this tone. Now, the problems arise when you start playing with other people in a band context, because now your chunky guitar tone will be eaten up by the other instruments in the band. The lows will be eaten up by the bass guitar and the kick drum, and your highs will be absorbed by the cymbals and the hi-hats. So I'm going to take this tone that I have right now, and I'm going to play along to a backing track, and you will hear exactly what I mean. Now I'm going to keep the backing track playing, and I'm going to put the mids back. And suddenly the guitar cuts nicely through the mix. And I didn't even have to turn the guitar volume up. All I did was introduce some of the mids back in. And that's what I mean by misusing the parametric EQ for the mids. Because instead of turning the mids down, a better approach would be to sweep through the range and find the frequency that flatters your guitar the most, and give that a slight boost. Because after all, the guitar's voice lives in the mid-range. Okay, so I'm going to flatten this out again. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to boost the mid gain slightly, around 1 o'clock or so, not too much. And then I'm going to sweep the big knob across the range while holding a chord. That way I can hear which frequency flatters my guitar tone the best. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna go back down. Okay, I'm gonna go with that. With this setting, I am basically boosting the lower end of the frequency range. And this range gives my guitar tone a little bit of muscle. Compare it with non-boosted. Okay, I'm gonna turn it back. Now let's talk about the high and low. Again, we don't need to be boosting all the time. We can also reduce. So I think I'm going to need a little more low end support. Just the lows a little bit. There you go. That opened it up. Now I think the highs are a little too spiky, so I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. Okay, nice and chunky. Let's see. The gain is still at noon. Maybe I'll bump it up to around 2 o'clock or so, just to make things a little easier. Let's try it all the way up. Definitely a lot more fun, but I like it to be a little more dynamic, so maybe just back off the gain a little bit so it's not too compressed. I like setting my gain so I can still hear individual notes of weird chords. Okay, nice and chunky. I can live with that tone. Okay, so compare this sound with the typical heavy metal setting. So now that I found my bass setting on this pedal for this guitar in my current setup, let's explore other tones. So I'm going to start with turning the gain way down, and let's see what we get. As soon as you start cutting the mids off, the guitar tone feels like it disappears. Okay, maybe if I boost the high mid, let's see, let's try that. Now let's see if we can do like a modern genty style tone. Put the gain up, maybe tuck the lows, and keep the highs. Tune down to drop D. I think that works. Like your typical Boss pedal, I feel that the HM-100 is also buffered, and unfortunately that keeps you from getting a completely clean sound when you roll down your volume knob. However, I do fully realize that a pedal named heavy metal is not supposed to be used for clean sounds. Now let's try some extreme settings. Let's see. Okay, I'm starting to hear some clipping and a lot of noise. So I think the best approach is to take the conservative approach. Boost a little, reduce a little, but don't go into extreme settings unless that is the sound you're after. Okay, there you have it. That is the heavy metal HM-100 from Boston Engineering. Now I did find a setting and a sound that I like, but is it usable? Is it good? Let me know in the comments. Okay, do all the good YouTube things that you guys do. Give this video a thumbs up like. If you dug it, feel free to share it with your friends and do subscribe if you haven't yet. I'm going to play the backing track that I used earlier and work on my Vivian Campbell licks. So till next time, take real good care of yourselves and practice makes perfecto. Cheers.